This is another episode of In the Club that doesn't have anything to do with you.
No, and it just shouldn't be like that, but that's the case.
You're a part-timer these days.
Becoming a part-timer, I'm quite liking just slipping into the distance like Homer when he goes back through that thing.
And jumping in for the intro and taking all the credit.
Yep, that's it. I've organised this whole thing. No, that's exactly not the truth. This podcast was organised and it was actually hosted by Sorcha from our sales team, and she done a brilliant job. Not that I'm massively surprised by it, but it was like very good.
Yeah. Really conversational. I think it helps when it's in a space that Sorcha really knows. Irish dancers. She was an Irish dancer for a number of years. The guest on the podcast is Laura Davidson, a very successful Irish dancer in her own right. So just being able to have that kind of similar background and have those conversations, because they used to dance together.
Yeah.
Sorcha was really good. Get some really good chat out of them, and then just kind of going back and forward, that more conversational, less interview, more conversational, really brings out more information than a kind of formal sit down. How did you do this? When did you do that? Sort of thing. So it was really good to.
And Laura's a TikTok star in the dance space. It's the first TikTok star we've really had on. Yeah. And you think that, and you go, oh right, okay. I think we've done like a couple of videos with her, and they've blown up to like 30,000 views.
I know.
So it like shows you what you can do, but when you get somebody with such gravitas on board, and again, entirely Sorcha's. She was the producer on this.
Yeah, pretty much. I came in here, switched on a camera and pressed record, and that was it. All the hard work was done by Sorcha.
Well, I haven't seen it all yet. I've seen bits of it, so I'll watch it whilst you watch it and whilst you listen to it. Let's get right into it. Laura Davidson being interviewed by Sorcha Bruce.
Here with Laura Davidson, 9-time Scottish qualifying champion. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. First time in the Class for Kids office. How have you found it so far?
It's been marvellous.
Yeah.
Everyone's so kind in here.
Everyone's nice. It's not corporate at all.
It's lovely.
Yeah. I feel like the second you step in the door, it's just everyone wants to say hi.
Everyone's my new friend, yeah.
Yeah, you've made so many friends. Congrats.
Thank you.
But today, basically, we are concentrating on Irish dancing. Obviously, you have had a 23 year competition background, dancing background.
Yeah, well, I'm very nearly 28, which I can't believe, but almost just born into it because the family done it too, so I don't think there was a real starting age, so I just say that I've always done it.
You've just always done it.
Always done it.
Yeah, lovely. So do you want to tell us a wee bit about how you started dancing and what you found like your journeys like been like along the way, competitions, how you found that? Just give us a wee brief background if that's all right.
Yeah, no problem. I'll try to keep it brief.
Yeah, go for it.
No, that's
chat
not
away,
my forte at all, yeah. So when I was younger, and I mean like a baby child, my sisters are almost 10 and 8 years older than me, and they danced as well. So my mum just kind of put me into it because others were dancing. They weren't quite as competitive and stuff. But as I grew older, we realised I really liked the competitions and, you know, I would say seeing the world, but you see inside a different Premier Inn and a different hotel.
I know, exactly, yeah. We holiday in if you're fancy.
A school or a games hall.
Yeah.
But I really liked going away to competitions and I
Yeah.
loved the class. I wouldn't ever miss dancing.
Yeah.
No matter what was on, I would forfeit it if it was a school party, or I would say, oh no,
Dancing
I can't.
came first.
I've got dancing.
Yeah.
Like I just absolutely loved going to it. And that was when I was very young. Competitively, I didn't actually do very well until I was older. I recalled for the first time at the World Championships. So that's, for anybody that doesn't know, that's making it into the top 50 competitors at the World Championships and being able to dance 3 rounds. I didn't actually make it into that top 50 until I was 19.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was quite late considering I'd been dancing so long. But after that, and I suppose after we came back for competing, like during lockdown, obviously we didn't.
Yeah.
After that, I really took the dancing seriously.
Yeah.
And treated it as like a sport and that I was an athlete. And all of a sudden, you know, I was top 5 in the worlds. So it massively changed for me around that time. Yeah. When I started taking things a bit more serious.
What do you think prompted you to like change that mindset into this is now like you were going to class it as a sport and you were an athlete rather than just a dancer, if that makes sense?
I think with it being lockdown, I didn't realise how much I loved it until I didn't have it.
Right.
And it was like something has to change here, and I knew my time was coming albeit I had a few years left in me,
Yeah.
but I could see that my time was coming, that I was going to have to stop competing. So
Yeah.
it was a
You wanted
all
to
or
make it count.
nothing mindset. I would make it happen no
Yeah.
matter what it took,
Yeah.
and I knew what it took.
Yeah.
I just had never done it before.
100%. And obviously, so you've competed for years. You've passed your TCRGs, which is, want to tell the audience?
Yeah, the Irish dancing teacher exam.
Yeah.
I had sat it 6 weeks after my last World Championships, which was last April. Flew over to Dublin. I booked the exam, and I mean, I would say irresponsibly at the time, but it worked out fine. I didn't even have the book that you need to study for the exam. I didn't own it when I booked the exam, but I was like, I just need to make this happen. And for 6 weeks, that was my life was dedicated to studying. I would
Yeah.
wake up in the morning and open the book.
After the Worlds as well, you must have just been dying for like a holiday or something. It was just nope, study.
Me and my two friends went on holiday the week after the Worlds, and they were sitting the exam as well because they'd just finished competing, and we were all sitting it together. We all took our books away with us to Mallorca and studied on the plane.
I do think that's nice. I wouldn't have had the willpower. I would have been like thrown out the window on the.
Oh no!
On the
I mean, we didn't have a choice. We didn't have much time,
Yeah.
so the teaching exam is very, very extensive, and it's over the course of a few days.
Yeah.
I think some people do it over 3 because we were flying in and out. We done it in 2 days.
Yeah.
Between written and practical exams, music exam,
Right.
the lot.
Yeah.
So there was a lot to learn.
Of course.
Yeah.
But you done it, passed it,
Well worthwhile.
teaching full time now. How do you think this compares to like competing?
I love it.
Do you?
I absolutely love it. See, just working with the kids.
Yeah.
It really, and feeling like you're making a difference in some aspect of their life
Yeah.
it brings me so much joy, so much more than what I could have ever had with competing
Yeah.
and, achieving something for myself. You feel like you're achieving something for somebody else, and
Yeah.
that's why I love it.
I feel like because you guys take kids on so young as well, and then you see them like right up. I mean, you're saying like what, you're almost 28 now. You must be seeing kids like all through their life pretty much.
Yeah.
And this close little tight knit community, that must be really rewarding.
Yeah,
to
well,
watch
you
them
look
grow.
at the age I was when I finished competing. Our classes, our TOTS class starts at age 2. So we literally get to see them, and obviously that's something I've not really experienced yet
Yeah.
because I've been competing, but like my teacher, I've seen people for their toddlers,
Yeah.
Sharon for the age 2,
Yeah.
right through to an adult. You see them through nursery, primary school, high
I
school.
know. It's like part
university.
of the family, to be honest, with the way you're seeing them through their life.
It literally is a
Yeah.
family. I see more of them than I see my own family sometimes.
That's nice. maybe that's nice. What do you think? Like, obviously, Class for Kids, we work with a load of dance schools, and I think Irish dancing is obviously close to my heart. Used to do the dancing with Laura herself. Once upon a time. So I'm always really interested in how that industry's changing, and from the conversations that I have at like industry events that we go to as a company and from people I talk to day to day, one of the biggest challenges is how to utilise social media for their platform, how they like reach people through there, because that's where everyone is. Times are changing, everything is going online and automated. So what would be your advice to dance teachers who are struggling with their social medias, because you've had quite a lot of success?
Yeah, I think I've got a bit of a unique set of circumstances with it because I started posting on TikTok when I was competing, and the things that were really popular was when I was getting ready for a competition. I would be doing Get Ready With Me's, putting my dancing wig on, and it was things that people had never seen before.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of the feedback
Yeah,
I got.
I
was
remember watching them, and it was like, because I had stopped dancing by that point, and I remember it was almost like nostalgic for me to watch. I was like, oh,
yeah.
all the wigs and the tiaras and, you know, the liffey and all that.
Well,
I missed it almost.
you would have those sort of comments. I would
Yeah.
have comments for different communities, whether it be other dancing communities, people across the world saying, I've never seen this before, we never knew you'd done this,
Wow.
and stuff like that. So it was nice to bring that to a new audience as well, because I have since had people messaging and stuff saying, we never knew about Irish dancing and what it actually was until we saw you. And now my child, who's 4, has started the local
that's
dance
amazing.
class. So
yeah.
like things like that are
Yeah.
incredible online. But in terms of the actual businessy side of it, like the dancing class, We really try with graphics and stuff, social media graphics. We use simple apps such as Canva, which it's really easy if you go through and learn how to do it. It's really easy to learn, and I think people stay away from that sort of thing.
People shy away from it. It's like the unknown, I think.
It is.
100%. People are uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, and when they learn how simple it actually can be, it's pretty easy to put together a wee advert for your class that says, this is the times and days, this is who's welcome, and this is the location.
Yeah.
And that's all you really need to spark a wee bit of interest. And we also like sharing what the kids are doing at competitions and things as well.
Like we snapshot videos, is that what that is like?
Well, sometimes we do that in class because like we're kind of limited to what we can film at competitions. But in class we'll do wee snapshot videos of the kids, and like, oh, we're training for this competition or we're training for that one, and it builds a wee bit of a following online of people that are interested, and they do get to know these kids and
because
follow their journey.
I feel like Irish dancing is a little less talked about in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of like dance as a physical art. I think it's a little less talked about, and it's nice to have a platform where you can like show that to the world pretty much, and have people engage and have people be like, oh, you know, I'm going to start my 4-year-old in a wee class. Like, that's amazing. You want people to like gain insights, because I think the industry is changing so much, and you have quite a unique perspective because you started it so young. You've done it through lockdown. You've travelled the world, and now you're teaching. How do you think the industry has changed throughout that time? What do you think the massive changes are?
Oh, well, I think, I mean, I'm making myself sound dead old here, older than I actually am. Just clear that up, but older than I actually am. But something I have seen is the way it's treated as a sport now. And in our class, in classes across the world, you see that massive change. You see the difference in the way the competitors, both boys and girls, look as well physically, are looking like athletes. Yeah. Because they're training like athletes, they're eating like athletes, you know, they're thinking like athletes. And that's something that never was about years and years ago. Yeah. Like, you're now seeing people that have danced for 25, 30 years without warming up and stretching and cooling down and, you know, having the right nutrition, and now they're getting knee replacements, they're getting hip replacements.
At such a young age as well.
Yeah, because they're facing the sort of consequences of not doing any of that stuff, not treating their body well, and thinking, actually, this is a sport. And, you know, some of our kids are training 5-6 times a week, and they have to be looking after their bodies, and we put much more emphasis on that now than what was done years ago. Like, I can remember when we were younger, if it was a sunny day outside, not many of them in Scotland, but if it was a sunny day outside,
there was,
you would get, oh, we don't need to do a warm-up today, it's warm enough.
It's warm
enough outside.
Science.
Like, never in a million years would you say that now. But it, like, things like that are like, do a quick stretch, and, you know, you just bend over and touch your toes, and that was you ready to go.
I think that starts from, like, quite a young age as well. Like, whenever I started dancing, was like, dancing is dancing, and then sport was sport, like football, athletics, you know, things like that. Rounders was classed more of a sport, I think, than dancing. Yeah. And throughout the time of like competing, girls and guys obviously started going to the gym and taking care of their bodies, and that was so good to see. And like, looking back now, I find it like incredible that we were going through this sport without warming up. Yeah. Or like, if you were me and you've barely tied your shoelaces on right, I'll be fine.
That's the thing, is it was kind of sort of accepted that everyone was doing that same sort of thing. Like, we were turning up to dancing and just
it just wasn't talked as a sport, so you were just having a wee hobby.
Yeah, whereas now, like, I got the recovery boots, the compression boots. My mum got me them as a gift one year for Christmas. That's all I wanted, was those compression boots to recover for dancing each night. Yeah. If you told me that when I was younger, I probably would have laughed.
I think it's a sport, and also you can make it into a career now. Like, that's how serious the industry's becoming. Yeah. Yourself is like a prime example. This is your full-time job now. Yeah.
So there's different sort of career paths you can go down with it. You can go into one of the shows. There is now many Irish dancing shows touring worldwide. You know, you get them on cruise ships and everything now. Yeah. So there's so many opportunities for dancers that there wasn't before. You know, there was years and years ago, you would get river dance.
Yeah.
And even like before sort of Michael Flatley's time, when he then came out with his own show, that was your only option, and there's only a very limited amount of spaces in that. So your chances of being able to get on a show weren't as good. Whereas now there's so many options in every corner of the world.
So many routes that you
literally.
can take. Where do you see any trends that point you in the direction of like where the industry is going to go next?
I can see a lot of people taking inspiration from other dance forums.
Okay.
In terms of moves, in terms of how the classes are marketed, in terms of technique, like all these different things, people are drawing inspiration from elsewhere, which is really nice to see, because it's so important to do things like that in order to get out your own wee bubble
100%.
and move with the times a bit.
Yeah.
So that's really, really nice to see. And a lot of people cross-training as well, not just with other dance forums, maybe Pilates, you know, gyrotonics and actual gym training as well, to build up their strengths in other areas that dance doesn't always help with, but you know, it could really benefit from.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Well, that sounds fantastic. And thank you so much for coming in to have a wee chat about this. And I hope we've shed a wee bit of light on Irish dancing.
Me too.
And why your kids should do it.
That was a fantastic episode, and it's just talking about the mindset shift that's happening in dance, where they're treating their dancers like athletes, rather than talking about turning up to a dance class and it's something you do after school. They're talking about conditioning, talking about dieting, talking about workout regimens, and how the dancers in Irish dancing now, well, according to Laura and through her experiences, they're treating themselves and their counterparts as professional athletes, and they're seeing the quality of the dancing just skyrocket.
I've heard the same in the cheer space as well, but very much that they're treating them like professional athletes, and as they should. Some of the things that they're doing with their legs and their feet, and she said herself in one of the little videos we done, but her legs are moving about as if independent from her body. And yeah, like it's amazing what they can actually do. And again, well done, Sorcha, for getting such a good guest to come on. Maybe see a wee guest presenting spot in the future for Sorcha.
Could be.
Maybe we'll need to keep an eye on this space, but
Do an Irish dancing series.
there you go. We've got a new Irish Instagram account.
That's true.
Yep, so that is classforkids.ire. And yeah, if you want to follow that,
Share, subscribe.
We never do that in this one, but let's try and push that. That'd be good. But no, well done, Sorcha, and thank you very much. And until next time, we'll say bye.